Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So going to be giving you the talking points from our 0-0 draw against Chelsea yesterday. So one of the talking points was Edinson Cavani. He came off the bench and made his debut for Manchester United and almost scored with his first touch. So he was very impressive. Now, we got Edinson Cavani on deadline day on a free transfer. He signed a 2-year contract with a football club worth around 220 grand a week. He is our new number 7, and I said he'll emulate into the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Some Manchester United fans thought he would have started yesterday's game. Now, another one of the talking points was our defensive discipline. Now, I thought our back four came up well against the likes of Pulisic, Werner and Kai Havertz. Now, Wan-Bissaka, he had a very good game. Like I said, he stopped Werner and Pulisic cutting in on that right flank. He also made some good tackles, did Bissaka. And I think he's had 3 good games now for Manchester United, because he was very good in the PSG game, and he was also very good in the Newcastle game. He scored in the Newcastle game. That was his first goal for Manchester United, and that game against Newcastle was his 50th appearance for the club. And this season's Wan-Bissaka's second season at the club. Now, Victor Lindelof, like I said, he won some very good headers in the game. Victor Lindelof has improved recently, so I'll credit him for that, but obviously isn't a world-class centre-half. Harry Maguire, defensively good. Harry Maguire also did well in the Newcastle game. Don't forget, he's recently recovered from injury. Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Newcastle that he's backing Harry Maguire to bounce back from his early season troubles and that, because don't forget, Harry Maguire had that incident in Greece the other month. He also sustained a knock in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark, and he also got sent off in England's defeat to Denmark. As it stands at the moment, Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world, because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. Luke Shaw, like I mentioned, he got a yellow card in the game. Lacked that attacking intent, but I thought defensively good. I thought Reece James had him in his pocket quite a lot of times throughout the game. So, there you go. Now, another one of the talking points was Harry Maguire pulling back Azpilicueta. Chelsea have said, they should have had a penalty in the game. Frank Lampard's give his own perception on it, and he's actually furious with this because VAR intervened, but obviously, they didn't give the penalty. So we was lucky in a way. I think another one of the talking points was Mendy, Chelsea's goalkeeper, made 3 fantastic saves in the game. Rashford had 2 good chances, like I mentioned on my match reaction. Juan Mata also had a good chance in the game. So yeah, they are the talking points. Obviously, we have failed to win our 3 opening home league games in a season for the first time since 1972-73. We've registered 1 point from 9 at home. Probably a draw isn't a good enough result. We obviously wanted Manchester United to win. We are unbeaten in our last 3 games now, though. like I said, Tino, was a poor game. Wasn't many chances in the game. The game was totally contrast to the games last season against Chelsea, because on the opening day of last season we beaten them by 4-0. Obviously, we beat them in the Carabao Cup 2-1. We beat them at Stamford Bridge 2-0, and Chelsea beat us in the FA Cup semi-final 3-1 last season. Like I said on Match Reaction as well, I'm surprised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer selected Daniel James. Daniel James shouldn't have been starting this game, to be honest with you. And I don't think Daniel James was that good. I'm actually surprised that Juan Mata started. I said he probably would be involved in the game, but I didn't expect him to start. I think quite a lot of United fans expected Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Cavani up top. Cavani did come on in the game. Greenwood, he came on in the game. Prior to the Chelsea game, Greenwood had missed our last 2 games. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently said that the English media are starting to go after Mason Greenwood, and he defended Mason Greenwood and blasts our ex-players for criticising him. Solskjaer also denied that Mason Greenwood's timekeeping was poor. We had a few issues with Mason Greenwood before the start of the season. He confirmed at the start of the season that we had given him the number 11. Alex Telles, he wasn't involved in the game at all. I thought he'd been making his Premier League debut for the football club yesterday. I thought he did very, very well against PSG, did Alex Telles. That was his debut. Axel Tuanzebe wasn't selected. We started Harry Maguire instead. I think Axel Tuanzebe should have been given another chance though, because he was very, very impressive against PSG. That game against PSG was his first start for Manchester United in 10 months. Solskjaer recently challenged Axel Tuanzebe to add consistency to ensure that he has a long career with Manchester United, and Solskjaer's obviously hopeful that he remains injury-free. Donny van de Beek, he wasn't selected again. I think a lot of Manchester United fans are becoming infuriated over this. Paul Pogba, he came on, but he didn't start again. That's the last 3 games now. Paul Pogba has not started. I think Solskjaer's come out and said that he came back from coronavirus too soon, did Paul Pogba. Matic, he obviously wasn't involved in the game. Matic has lost his place in the team. Matic though did have some good games towards the end of last season. Yeah, Solskjaer did go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. By the way, I think it's our first 0-0 draw since the 0-0 draw against Wolves back in February. I think it's Chelsea's first 0-0 draw under Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard has not yet beaten Manchester United in the Premier League. And Chelsea haven't enjoyed the best of starts to the season. And I thought that they'd been in much more of a commanding position than they're in. They've made some good signings in the summer transfer window, did Chelsea. They brought Kai Havertz in, they brought Ben Chilwell in, they brought Milan Sarr in, Thiago Silva, Mendy. They brought Ziyech in back in February, and they also brought Timo Werner in. So they spent over £200 million. So far, Chelsea have beaten Brighton, beaten Palace. Drew with West Brom. Lost to Liverpool. Got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Tottenham. Drew with Sevilla 0-0. And recently drew with us 0-0. You've got Frank Lampard in his second season as Chelsea manager. I don't know if he's the right manager for Chelsea, like I mentioned on my match reaction. But I was going to say the same thing about Solskjaer. I don't know if he's the right manager for Manchester United. Reflecting on how long Frank Lampard's been at Chelsea, he's gained managerial experience. Chelsea is the second club in his managerial career. Before he was at Chelsea, he was at Derby, wasn't there? But yeah, our next game is RB Leipzig in the Champions League. That's our second game of the group stage. And that's going to be a very difficult one because RB Leipzig progressed to the Champions League semi-finals last season. And then after that, it's Arsenal. That's our next league game. And that's going to be a very, very tough game for Manchester United. Then after that, it's Istanbul Başakşehir. That's the other opponent we've got in our group in the Champions League. And then after that, it's Everton. So games are coming up thick and fast. And I've said to you, that Solskjaer has got to improve his decision making. Because in a lot of his games at Manchester United, he's been very tactically naive. But I think in a lot of the big games, he's actually showed tactical flexibility. I fancied us to win yesterday because since Solskjaer came in, our record against the top six sides has been very, very good. We've got to address our home form. We really, really have. I'm really, really concerned about it. But our away form has actually been good. We haven't lost any away game in any competition since January. Have we? So, there you go. Anthony Martial, he's got one more game to serve in the league, and then that's it. His suspension's over. Martial did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. Shouldn't have been sent off, but he was. Say he's a miss. But there again, Martial hasn't enjoyed the best of starts this season before he got that suspension. He was very, very good last season, was Martial. Under Solskjaer, he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era as well. Martial's enjoyed around 5 years or so at the football club, hasn't he? Merritt Bay, he's out for 3 to 4 weeks now with a muscle injury. This was already confirmed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Lingard's recently been out with a knock. By the way, I heard Patrice Evra recently saying that Man United players were playing with a safety jacket. Solskjaer has dismissed Patrice Evra's accusations over this, obviously. And Solskjaer says Man United would have won yesterday if they had been fans at Old Trafford. But what I think Solskjaer's got to do is he's got to start playing Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek has not yet made his full debut for the football club. Solskjaer was saying prior to the game against Chelsea about Donny van de Beek, about his lack of playing time. And he says that Donny van de Beek needs to settle in and he needs to adapt. And I think Solskjaer's considering where he wants to play him. He can play in 3 different roles. Donny van de Beek's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. But yeah, we've got to start playing him. We got him for around £40 million from Ajax. Donny van de Beek signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option for further year, and he currently wears that number 34 shirt. I think Patrice Evra is getting the impression that he isn't needed at Manchester United. Like I said, there will be Manchester United fans demanding Ole out. There will be some Manchester United fans on the other side of things saying give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer more time. Solskjaer has not got a proven pedigree. Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles with Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at Man United, he's gained managerial experience. Solskjaer has been at the club now for almost 2 years. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho. You know, Solskjaer's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. And he's got a contract with us until 2022. This season is his second full season at the football club, and I said at the beginning of this season what would represent a good season for Man United, and that would be to finish in the top four, the top two or top three if necessary, and win a trophy. We definitely need to win a trophy because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. You know, we've played 5 games in the league so far this season. We've won 2, we've lost 2, and we've drawn 1. And we are currently now sitting 15th in the Premier League. But a few weeks ago, after that 6-1 defeat to Tottenham, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club. And Ed Woodward said he's determined to sack Solskjaer if, you know, things don't improve. Now, obviously, them wins against Newcastle and PSG eased a lot of pressure off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, didn't it? Because a few weeks ago, you know, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino becoming Manchester United's next manager. It also says we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to him. You know, I did say to you, didn't I, you know, Solskjaer's in the same position as he was in at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season, don't forget, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. Now, Ed Woodward, he recently came out and said that he's backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a lengthy statement. And I said he deserves more backing, didn't I? Because in the summer transfer window, Solskjaer was not backed enough by the board. He really wasn't. But I don't think any of our managers that we've had since Ferguson retired have been backed enough. You know. But in the summer transfer window, we missed out on all of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority targets. And we missed out on a lot of targets in general. You know what I mean? You know, we missed out on Jadon Sancho. That was one we missed out on. We missed out on Sergio Reguilon. We missed out on Bale. We missed out on Jack Grealish. Missed out on Bellingham. You know, missed out on Haaland back in January. It's a shame we missed out on Haaland because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. But Solskjaer revealed a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very infuriated with the board. He really was. And there's been a lot of Manchester United fans demanding Woodward and the Glazers out. You know, we've been critical of them for the last 7 years or so, is it? Probably longer. Because, you know, our recruitment policy's been poor for so long. We've obviously overpaid for players. And like I said, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years. And that's one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. I said to you it'd be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of footballing, because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. If we are to get one in though, we need someone who's got that experience and someone who knows the club inside out. Recently, it's Luis Campos that has been linked with the director's role. And before, there was quite a few former Manchester United players linked with that role. We've been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing since like the Jose Mourinho era. Next year, we'll be looking to make a couple of more signings. We're going to be offloading more players next year. Next year, we'll be looking to offload Jesse Lingard. Doesn't get in the team now, does he? Rojo, news by the way regarding Marcus Rojo. I heard that Sheffield United are interested in taking Rojo. Is it out on loan? Rojo has lost his place in the team. You know, since we got him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2014, you know, he's never really established himself as a first team regular, has he? Rojo was out on loan with Estudiantes last season. You know, Phil Jones, you know, we're also looking to offload him. The last time I heard about Phil Jones, West Ham were interested. We'll offload Sergio Romero as well. Obviously now he's our third choice goalkeeper. Daniel James, he could be sent out on loan as well. Pogba, good chance he could leave the football club next summer. Really good chance. Matic, he could be sold next year because he's lost his place now in the team. Possibly Juan Mata also could be sold. Fred, do you think he could be sold? Brandon Williams, he could be loaned out. Because obviously now following the arrival of Telles, Brandon Williams is going to obviously find game time hard. De Gea, there's a possibility chance he could be sold next summer. But since Solskjaer became Manchester United manager, he has spent over £200 million. In the summer of 2019, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, brought Bruno Fernandes and Ighalo in on loan. And obviously in the summer transfer window of this year, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri, Amad Traore is coming to the football club in January. We've also seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in as Man United manager. And I also like the way that Solskjaer has promoted the youth. Credit him for what he did last season, Solskjaer. He got us to 3 semi-finals, got us 3rd place, also got us qualification for the Champions League, didn't he? By the way, as you all know, Facundo Pellistri made his first appearance for the club the other night. It was the under 23s, Man United against Everton. Man United did win that game by 2-1. Also, Rojo and Brandon Williams played. Like I said to you, in the last 7 years or so, Man United have been inconsistent. We've obviously had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era. That was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. We've only won 4 trophies in the last 7 years. That was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League, League Cup and Community Shield under Mourinho. That came in Mourinho's first season. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So last time won it was in Ferguson's last season. But we are the most successful team in Premier League history. I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Ferguson did, because Ferguson endured 27 years at the club, won a total of 38 major honours. Ferguson didn't settle in straight away though, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. But yeah, the success came under him because since he left, we've been inconsistent. Like I said before, Ferguson came into the equation, was obviously inconsistent. We've spent a lot of money in the last 7 years. We've spent nearly £1 billion. We've recruited over 30 odd players in since the Ferguson era. Over the years, we brought players like Fellaini, Mata, Sneijderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Angel Di Maria, Memphis Depay, Martial, Shaw, Rojo, Blind, Darmian, Romero, Herrera. We brought them players in under Van Gaal, didn't we? Under Mourinho, we brought around 11 players in to the football club. The vast majority of his team, by the way, is Jose Mourinho's. So Solskjaer's inheriting them. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.